Good evening, here are tonight's top stories. A man was brutally attacked with an axe in East Coast Demerara, while an early morning fire destroyed a Chinese-owned supermarket in Golden Grove. Additionally, an Essequibo businessman faces charges related to gold smuggling offenses. A robbery under arms incident has shaken the Port Morant business community, and a father of two has been charged with taking the life of Shawn George after an alleged fatal stabbing. Opposition Member of Parliament Germaine Figuera has called for an independent investigation into the violent treatment of a Linden businessman in a viral video. Furthermore, a promoter accused of beating a man with a firearm has been arrested, and GNBS has seized non-compliant cigarettes in Regions 5 and 6. Stay tuned for further updates. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more news.
Man brutally attacked with axe in East Coast Demerara. In a disturbing incident that unfolded in Better Hope North, East Coast Demerara, ECD, a 34-year-old man fell victim to a vicious axe attack this past Sunday. The altercation stemmed from an accusation of slander against the victim's sister. The victim, identified as Hardat Badal, a resident of Better Hope North ECD, recounted the harrowing event in an exclusive interview with our publication. Badal revealed that the confrontation took place around 03:00 HRS, mere steps away from his home. The catalyst for the confrontation, according to Badal, was the alleged defamation of his sister's character by the suspect. "I had an argument over my sister, I suspect, scandal my sister name," Badal asserted, clarifying that his involvement was solely to inquire about the situation. However, tensions escalated dramatically as the suspect, reportedly armed with an axe, confronted Badal once again on Sunday. In a brutal assault, the suspect mercilessly struck Badal in the face with the weapon before fleeing the scene. Badal, left battered and injured, managed to seek assistance, and law enforcement was promptly notified. He was swiftly transported to a nearby hospital for urgent medical attention, where he received treatment for his injuries before being discharged. As of now, the assailant remains at large, with authorities actively pursuing leads to bring him to justice. The community, shaken by the violence that erupted in their midst, anxiously awaits developments in the case. Early morning fire destroys a Chinese-owned supermarket in Golden Grove, East Coast Demerara. An early morning blaze engulfed a Chinese-owned supermarket located at East Half Section A, Golden Grove, East Coast Demerara, on Tuesday, leaving behind a trail of destruction and prompting ongoing investigations into its cause. Firefighters, along with police officials, swiftly responded to the scene to combat the flames. Utilizing two jets operated from Water Carrier No. 18 and Water Tender No. 106 tank supplies, they endeavored to quell the inferno. Despite their efforts, the fire ravaged the structure, reducing it to ashes. Adjacent to the supermarket, an adjoining building on the western side sustained damages as well. The wooden and concrete structure, utilized as a private dwelling, incurred minimal harm, including the loss of 3 meters of louver's window and slight scorching on the eastern side of the top floor external wall. The cause of the fire remains under investigation by fire prevention officials and the police. Meanwhile, authorities underscore the critical importance of fire safety measures, such as equipping homes and businesses with fire extinguishers, smoke detectors, smoke alarms, and sprinkler systems. Unfortunately, the absence of such fire suppression systems at the supermarket highlights the need for heightened vigilance and preparedness among citizens. In light of this incident, residents are urged to take necessary precautions and practice fire safety protocols to mitigate the risk of future tragedies. Vigilance and proactive measures can play a crucial role in preventing and minimizing the impact of fires in our communities. Essequibo businessman charged with gold smuggling offenses. Today, the Special Organized Crime Unit, SOCU, brought charges against Essequibo businessman Tariq Dionarin, alleging his involvement in the illicit purchase of gold in the Port Kaituma district without the requisite documentation. Dionarin, proprietor of a T&J Transportation Services in Port Kaituma, Region 1, and of Windsor Castle, Essequibo Coast, appeared before Magistrate Delon Bess at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. He faced charges under the Guyana Gold Board Act, Chapter 66:01, specifically for purchasing gold from unauthorized sources and possessing gold without being a licensed producer. Pleading not guilty to the charges, Dionarine was granted $60,000 bail for each offense, with the matters adjourned to May 10 for further proceedings. The charges stem from an investigation initiated after reports surfaced alleging Dionarine's involvement in the illicit gold trade at Port Kaituma Waterfront, Northwest District, without the necessary licensing. In a joint operation involving law enforcement and Ministry of Natural Resources officials, Dionarine was apprehended while purportedly engaging in unlawful gold transactions. Subsequent searches of his business premises uncovered significant evidence, including 20.8 pennyweight of gold, smelting equipment, and a substantial sum of cash amounting to $897,000. The matter was subsequently handed over to SOCU for further investigation, given its mandate under the Anti-Money Laundering and Countering the Financing of Terrorism Act Chapter 1011. SOCU has been tasked with probing and prosecuting cases related to gold smuggling and money laundering. This case underscores the ongoing efforts by law enforcement agencies to combat illegal activities in the gold mining industry and uphold regulatory standards to safeguard Guyana's economic integrity. With several similar cases currently under investigation, authorities remain vigilant in their pursuit of justice and accountability in the precious metals sector. Robbery under arms shakes Port Morant business community. In a shocking turn of events, Danmati Rampersad, a 47-year-old businesswoman known as Amano from area, R. Anchorville, Port Morant, Quarantine, Burbis, fell victim to a harrowing robbery on Monday, April 29, 2024, at approximately 19:35 hours. The incident unfolded at Babu John Public Road, Port Morant, Quarantine, Burbis, where Rampersad operates a hot dog stand. Accompanied by her husband, Rampersad was attending to her business when she suddenly fell ill. Concerned for her well-being, her husband rushed home to retrieve her medication. In a terrifying twist, Rampersad found herself facing an armed assailant clad entirely in black. Despite her attempts to flee, the perpetrator, wielding a handgun, pursued and violently assaulted her. Dragged back to her stand, Rampersad endured further aggression, resulting in head injuries. In a brazen act, the suspect rifled through Rampersad's belongings, making off with 13,000 Guyanese dollars from her pocket and 46,400 Guyanese dollars in daily sales earnings. Escaping on a bicycle, the perpetrator left Rampersad traumatized and in need of medical attention. Following the ordeal, Rampersad reported the incident to the Wim police station, prompting a swift response from law enforcement. Escorted to the Port Morant Public Hospital for treatment, Rampersad received medical care before being discharged. In a promising development, police officers acting on crucial information apprehended a 25-year-old laborer from Persad Street, Rose Hall Town, Quarantine, Burbis, identified as a suspect in the robbery. The suspect was cautioned, arrested, and remains in custody as investigations continue. As the investigation progresses, authorities are working tirelessly to bring the perpetrator to justice and ensure the safety and well-being of the Port Morant community. The incident serves as a stark reminder of the need for vigilance and community solidarity in the face of criminal activity. Father of two charged with taking the life of Shawn George after an alleged fatal stabbing. In a tragic turn of events, Rowlett Rowley, a 34-year-old father of two, found himself facing serious charges after an altercation turned deadly on April 24, 2024, at 264 Vlissingen Square, Georgetown. Rowley stands accused of fatally stabbing Shawn George, 52, in a confrontation that spiraled out of control. Appearing before Chief Magistrate Sherdell Essex Marcus at the Georgetown Magistrates Court on Monday, Rowley, also known as Short Boss, was formally charged with murder. He was not required to enter a plea, as the charge is indictable. According to police reports, the incident unfolded around 17:00 HRS on the fateful day when Rowley, riding his motorbike, crossed paths with George at Vlissingen Square. Allegedly, Rowley instigated a verbal altercation by hurling derogatory insults at George, including the term "anti-man." What began as a war of words quickly escalated into a physical confrontation. During the altercation, Rowley purportedly armed himself with a knife, inflicting 4 stab wounds on George, once in the left forearm and thrice in the left abdomen. In an attempt to defend himself, George wielded a piece of wood, striking Rowley on the shoulder. However, Rowley allegedly continued his assault, delivering another fatal blow before fleeing the scene. Despite efforts by bystanders to render aid, George succumbed to his injuries upon arrival at the Georgetown Public Hospital Cooperation, GPHC. Following the incident, authorities swiftly apprehended Rowley. He is now awaiting further legal proceedings, with his next court appearance scheduled for May 30, 2024. The tragic incident serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of violence and underscores the importance of peaceful conflict resolution within communities. As the legal process unfolds, our thoughts remain with the loved ones of the deceased, mourning the loss of Shawn George in this senseless act of violence. Opposition Member of Parliament Germaine Figuera calls for independent investigation into violent treatment of Linden businessman in viral video. The recent circulation of a disturbing video depicting the violent treatment of a young businessman by several police officers within the Mackenzie Police Station compound has cast a shadow over Linden's anniversary celebrations. This incident serves as a sobering reminder of the critical issues facing law enforcement agencies worldwide and highlights the urgent need for accountability and reform. In response to this alarming incident, I strongly advocate for an independent investigation to be promptly initiated. It is imperative that the truth behind the incident is uncovered and those responsible are held fully accountable for their actions. Any internal biases or conflicts of interest within the police force must not influence the outcome of the investigation. Instead, an impartial oversight body should oversee a thorough and transparent inquiry to ensure justice is served. If the investigation confirms the involvement of police officers in wrongdoing, swift and decisive punitive actions must be taken. Disciplinary measures, including suspension, termination, or criminal prosecution, should be pursued to the fullest extent of the law. Accountability is paramount in maintaining public trust and confidence in the police force, and any deviation from this principle must be met with unequivocal condemnation and consequences. Moreover, steps must be taken to rebuild trust and foster positive relationships between the police and the community. Comprehensive reforms and initiatives should be implemented to address systemic issues within the force and promote greater transparency, accountability, and community engagement. This incident should serve as a catalyst for the police force to undertake necessary reforms and initiatives, including the revision and reinforcement of standard operating procedures, training programs to enhance awareness of human rights and cultural sensitivity, and efforts to strengthen partnerships with the community. As we celebrate Linden's Town Week, let us commit to fostering a safer and more harmonious coexistence between the police and the community they serve. By working together, we can ensure that our celebrations are fun, inclusive, and reflective of our shared commitment to justice and accountability. Promoter accused of beating man with firearm arrested. A well-known promoter found himself on the wrong side of the law after an alleged altercation involving a firearm unfolded along the Kitty seawall in Georgetown on Sunday night. The incident, which culminated in the arrest of the promoter Ted Walters, has sparked controversy and prompted ongoing investigations by the police. Reports suggest that the promoter was apprehended by law enforcement officials, with some sources indicating that he was intercepted while purportedly attempting to flee the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, GPHC. However, police sources refute these claims, stating instead that the promoter voluntarily surrendered the firearm at the hospital while seeking medical attention, subsequently leading to his arrest. According to police statements, the promoter stands accused of assaulting a 31-year-old man from Tuckville Terrace, Georgetown, around 11:30 p.m. Notably, this altercation was not an isolated incident, as investigations revealed a prior encounter between the two individuals approximately 1 month earlier at the Magic City Bar in Georgetown. The sequence of events leading to the altercation remains disputed, with conflicting narratives emerging from both parties involved. The 31-year-old man alleges that the incident unfolded when he collided with the promoter's black Toyota Tacoma pickup while driving along the seawalls. However, the promoter contends that the collision occurred while he was reversing his vehicle, prompting a confrontation between the two drivers that escalated into a physical altercation. During the altercation, the promoter claims that the 31-year-old man brandished a firearm and initiated the assault, prompting him to disarm the individual and retaliate in self-defense. Notably, a security guard accompanying the promoter corroborated his version of events, stating that the promoter was defending himself from the armed assailant. Conversely, the 31-year-old man maintains that it was the promoter who instigated the violence by assaulting him with the firearm. In response, he purportedly retaliated by inflicting injuries on the promoter using beer bottles. In the wake of these conflicting accounts, investigations into the incident are ongoing as law enforcement officials seek to establish the facts surrounding the altercation. As the case unfolds, both parties involved await further developments in a matter that underscores the complexities of interpersonal conflicts and the importance of impartial investigations in delivering justice.